Hello, friends. I'm again back with Entrepreneurship Session 2. So, in the last session, we discussed what entrepreneurship is all about, and we discussed of the three case studies of Tata Steel, of IPL, and of Mama Organic Farms. And we also discussed how to bridge that gap and how to create gaps, and that can be bridged, giving an entrepreneurial, opportunity. Now, in this session, it's going to be a very interesting session where I'll be taking you through a dozen facts of entrepreneurship, right? So, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you need to understand what is this, the entire ecosystem of entrepreneurship all about, right? If you don't know the ecosystem, you won't be able to, find a way out of it. So I thought it would be really good if you can understand the entrepreneurial ecosystem, and this session is dedicated to that. So the fact number one is 11% of the adult population in India is engaged in early stage entrepreneurial activities, but only 5% go on to establish their own businesses. So imagine only 5% of people actually go on to establish their own businesses. 11% of the adult population in India is engaged in early stage entrepreneurial activities, but only 5% go on to establish their own business. This means, compared to other developed economies, we are far, far, far behind. We need more and more and more entrepreneurs to join in this, in this journey where which creates a lot of value, which creates a lot of wealth for the economy and for the people around. So, fact number one takes us to this idea: entrepreneurship is living a few years of your life like most people won't, so that you can spend the rest of your life like most people can't. What this actually means is that the early phase of entrepreneurship journey is very, very tough. Let me tell you, my friends, there are a lot of ups and downs. I'll tell you one very interesting joke. In Bihar, there's a saying that the groom's father would easily marry off that groom to a clerk who's working in a government organization, but he won't marry him to a bridegroom who's an entrepreneur. So that was the mindset with which we grew. But now the things have changed completely. It is very, very important nowadays to understand that entrepreneurs are important for every economy. Now India is no more an underdeveloped economy. It is developing, and it is trying to move to the developed economy. And this can happen only when we have a lot of entrepreneurs joining this bandwagon, right? So entrepreneurship is living a few years of your life like most people won't. It's really tough. If you join a company, your life becomes easy, but later on it becomes tough. But for an entrepreneur, when he joins the he starts up, a lot of ups and downs, lot of issues, lot of hassles to be addressed, ifs, buts, pros, cons, wins, losses, a lot of things to be done. And once he passes all these ups and downs, only then he is able to lead a wonderful life later. Now let's take the fact number two. While India's rate of establishing new businesses amongst the lowest, the rate of discontinuance is amongst the highest at 26.4%. So what I'm trying to say is that there are very few people who are actually joining entrepreneurship. Very, very low. The level is very, very low. Now, out of that low level, we have the highest level of people who's discontinuing entrepreneurship. It means they are fed up with the journey. They are not able to do it. They are not able to take the pressure, and therefore they give up. or probably they have not planned their entire journey in a way. It's more of a fascination than real plan, yeah, because of which they give up. So it's not just infatuation for entrepreneurship that will help you. You need that real love, that true love for it, the true love for your passion, the true love for that idea which you want to take ahead. Infatuations won't work in entrepreneurship. So that is absolutely clear, and that is why you see the rate of failure of entrepreneurship in India is very, very high. So we'll address what are the other reasons also for entrepreneurship to fail. But the basic fact is, what, we are not really in love with our passion. We are not living our dreams. So these are basically dreams with eyes closed, not with eyes wide open. Okay. So now if you see this screen, so many of the entrepreneurs, they plan a very smooth journey and they plan, that they'll be able to reach. But if you see the lower part of the diagram, the reality shows something else. There are a lot of ups and downs, ifs and buts, lot of hurdles, and you try to surpass all those hurdles. Only then you are able to reach the ultimate goal. So if you see, people who are adventurous, people who can bounce back from the lows, people who take challenges, who love to take challenges, people who can organize, plan, work together with people, and do not like a mundane or a boring lifestyle. For them, entrepreneurship is really the right fit. If you see in the in the picture below, the person starts on a bicycle. He faces a lot of stones. Then there is a bomb that is chasing him. Then he has to take a boat and cross the deep waters. Then there is a hill, there is a hurdle, and then there is again a fall, and then there's rain, clouds, and again there's a ladder which takes him up. So an entrepreneur has to pass through all these phases. It is not a smooth ride, but believe me, there's a lot of fun, there's a lot of happening, there's a lot of risk, but there's a lot of reward also. It is absolutely a journey which involves a lot of adventure. So people who are adventurous would certainly love to go for it, but I tell you, you have to plan for the second phase where just a bicycle is not enough. You need to plan so many different things. So what happens is people plan for a bicycle, but the moment they face stones, they give up. So you need to pass that. You need to find out new ways. You need to learn new skills. You need to get new resources. You need to find new teams. You need to find new markets to actually reach the goal. That is what entrepreneurship is all about. So I'll take you to fact number 3 in entrepreneurship. So what are the reasons for discontinuance? Why are people discontinuing it? So if you see, there's a lot of bureaucratic hurdles, and the picture there, it shows, how entrepreneurs are being treated like puppets by the government when they change their plans, when they change the laws, when they make laws which are not favorable to entrepreneurs and all those things. So other reasons of discontinuance are, first is the bureaucratic hurdles, financial issues. Yes, the entrepreneurship ecosystem in India is not, it's still at its very infancy. It is not matured. There's no proper entrepreneurship, entrepreneurship labs or which actually nurture entrepreneurs. So what is happening is the new entrepreneurs are facing a lot of financial issues. They are having some, few of them, they are having ideas, but they're not finding out ways to get the finances. And believe me, in the initial phase, unless and until you have a prototype or a minimum viable product, no one is going to finance you, because it's not enough to have an idea. That idea has to be converted into a prototype, into a small product or a service, and that should be shown to people. Only then people who will be having the confidence in your idea will actually invest in it. So our financial systems for entrepreneurship is not very matured. It is very in the infant stage, and therefore many of the entrepreneurs are succumbing because of the financial issues. Then team issues. So what happens is when you start at entrepreneurship, some friends, they start, but as soon as they face problems, objective, they are basically tied to the relationship or their own benefits, and because of which the relationship does not last very long. Only that team lasts long which is tied to the ultimate objective, because then the entire team is there in all the ups and downs, ifs and buts, and you'll be very and I tell you that unless and until you have a good, vibrant and diversified team, you won't be able to win this journey of entrepreneurship. Why I tell you, because if everyone is of the same mindset, then you won't have people who are experts in finance, experts in marketing, experts in operations, experts in product development. So you need everyone, you need a diversified team, and all these team members should be tied to a common goal. So there has to be a shared vision. If the vision is not shared, the entrepreneurship is going to fail. Then the unprofitable business models. So many of the people, they are not clear of their entrepreneurship objectives. They are not clear of the area they want to go. They are not prepared. They have not prepared the plan better. They have not done their homework, in a really good way, and therefore they enter into unprofitable ventures, which is very high on competition, very low on profits. They don't get the scale. They see a small little gap and they try to jump into it, but that gap is not deep and wide enough so that that journey can be really long lasting. So what is happening is, because of not preparing oneself in the right spirit, what is happening is the entrepreneurship is going for a toss. Lack of innovation. Yes, in India, there's a lot of lack of innovation. We are not innovating enough. I'll take you in the later part of the slide that our innovation index is very low. We have to innovate. We have to add value. If we are not adding value, then we are not creating a differentiation from what the others are offering. So unless and until you create a positive differentiation of what the others are from what the others are offering, no one is going to take your products or service. So in order to sustain, in order to be in the race, you need to be innovative and continuously innovative. You need to continuously innovate. You need to continuously change depending on the situations around. Unhealthy ecosystem. Yes, our ecosystem in the it's just like a seed. If a seed is planted in an infertile soil, even if the seed is healthy, if planted in an entrepreneurship ecosystem, then probably that idea will not grow. So these are some of the factors, and there are many more factors, but I have listed some of the factors so that you are aware of what basically are the problems of entrepreneurs, why they are failing, why they are not able to win the race really well. So I'll take you to one of the quotes of Kiran Majumdar Shaw. She is one of the most respected lady entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurship is about being able to face failure, manage failure, and succeed after failing. So she accepts that there is going to be a failure. So if you're not failing, then probably your dream was not big enough, or your dream was too small. So you have not failed and you have achieved it. But the real good ones, the real good entrepreneurs, they have all faced failures. They have all managed that failure well, and then they have succeeded after failing. So this circle is continuously. I mean, you should convert those failures into learnings, and that learnings into success. So that failures, if you stop there, then it remains a failure. But if you learn from it, bounce back, and then convert that failure into success, that is what it is all about. And that is the adventure all about in entrepreneurship. Now I'll take you to fact number 4. The good news: India is improving in the ease of doing business and has climbed 23 points to take the position to the 77th position. So the good news is, yes, we are improving on the ease of doing business. By ease of doing business, what I mean is that the ecosystem is slowly improving. There is single window clearance. The startups are getting quicker, clearances, and the financial ecosystem is improving. They are respecting entrepreneurs. So what is happening is slowly things are changing in India, and I'm sure it is going to improve further. Fact number 4 is, we are continuing it in the ease of doing business. Singapore, Hong Kong, New Zealand, USA, and Denmark are the leaders. So any country who wants to invest, they are probably looking at these countries. But India is coming up fast, and after the COVID, pandemic, what we are seeing is a lot of countries, a lot of companies from China is shifting their base to India. So and India is working a lot on improving the labor laws and the other laws so that the entrepreneurs get a faster clearances. Now, fact number 5, Global Entrepreneurship Index. India has moved up 1 place and ranked 68th in the 2018 Global Entrepreneurship Index out of 137 countries, which is topped by USA. So yes, USA is still topping the index. We have improved 1 point, but we have a long way to go. We need a lot of entrepreneurs from each and every field where the youth is engaged in, whether you are an engineer, whether you are in the financial field, whether you are in the field of arts, anything. But that entrepreneurial intent and that entrepreneurial acumen has to be there. Now we are also talking of agripreneurship. So agriculture, if a farmer, if a person is just growing crops, that is not enough. Now he has to upgrade from a farmer to an agripreneur. Only then he will be able to add value to his life, or else he will not be able to do that. So that is what we are talking of. A lot of entrepreneurial intent is required, acumen is required to take India to the next level. Facts on entrepreneurship 6. The critical period of 1,000 days or 3 years is very crucial, as the startup sees the complete cycle with lots of ups and downs in this period. Yes, the first 3 year is very, very important. What happens is, most of the entrepreneurs, they die in the first 3 years. Most of them, because they have not seen the complete cycle. And I mean, the data says that, all those entrepreneurs who have passed the critical period of 1,000 days, they have seen the complete cycle in the area in which they are in. They have seen a lot of ups and downs. They have innovated new things. They have learned a lot of things. And those who have survived the first 1,000 days have a higher chance of, being successful in future. So this is what data is supporting. So it is very important that for the first 1,000 days, you keep learning, you don't give up, you fight back, you bounce back, and then you achieve the goals. That is very, very important. So it is this 3 years, more than 90% of the entrepreneurs, they fail in the first 3 years because the road is toughest there. You've just started. If you're not very, if you're not very committed to your plan, if you're not committed to your goal, then probably, there's very high chance that once you face a problem, you may end up giving up. So that is not something which we have to do. We have to continue fighting it out and finding a way out. I'm sure that there'll be a lot of challenges. There'll be a challenge of resource. There'll be a challenge of market. There'll be a challenge of competitors. But you need to keep on innovating. You need to keep on, changing, improving, and doing things better. Now, entrepreneurship fact number 7 is India is struggling to become the 3rd largest startup ecosystem in the world, but is leading towards more unemployment as more and more startups are getting shut down. So this is a very, very difficult and a challenging position where many of the startups are failing because uh, the entrepreneurs, they don't have the right kind of entrepreneurial acumen or training, or there is a mindset, entrepreneurial mindset. There is a psychology. I mean, if you're not prepared, it does not make sense. Entrepreneurship is something where you need to find new ways, you need to innovate, you need to bounce back. And people who are not able to do this, people who are not committed to their goals, they should not take up entrepreneurship. And I would suggest that before taking up entrepreneurship, one should find the best version of himself first. He should sit, give an appointment to himself, try to find out the best in himself, and then go for entrepreneurship, because it takes the best to become a successful entrepreneur. Fact number 8, Indian startups have grown in the past 4 years, but 77% of the venture capitalists believe Indians don't have unique business models. So innovation is very, very important. If we don't have unique business models, we will not be able to last, because the big fish will certainly going to adjust to the new situation, and they'll eat up the small fishes. So what we do is that we see that there's a small opportunity, we join. We join the bandwagon of being an entrepreneur, but we are not able to sustain, and then we give up. And the big companies, they again take this opportunity. So we need to have that plan ready, that how we are going to how the David is going to fight the Goliath. So that is something which you need to know when you're an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship fact number 9 is that the Global Innovation Index, India was among the bottommost countries in terms of global innovation and ranked 66th. So we need a lot of patents. We need a lot of people who are, innovating. A lot of research and development needs to come in. A lot of technology should be used to bring about new changes. We need to do away with inefficiency. We need to find out better ways of doing business. So we need to continuously improve on this area. Patents. India has entrepreneurship fact number 10 is India has applied for 1423 patents only, compared to Japan's count, which stood at 44,235. China is at 29,846, and South Korea at 14,626 in the same year. So if you see, we don't have a lot of patents. If you don't have anything new, then there is all possibility that it will get copied, and people with deep pockets will actually take your entrepreneurship away, and then you get into a loss. So in order to have that differentiating factor, in order to have that that edge, we should continuously try to find out ways. If you're not doing it, then your team member has to innovate. So you need to create a team, and the team has to innovate. It is not necessarily that you have to innovate, but your team has to innovate. Your technical guys, your finance guys, they have to innovate, and they need to find out new ways as to how they can actually add value to the people. Now, if you see entrepreneurship point number 11, then women count for only 14% of the total entrepreneurship in India. Now, if you compare it to the world level, it is around 40% of the people of the entrepreneurs are female. But in India, it is just 14%. So there's a long way to go. The female entrepreneurs we need to encourage more and more females to join entrepreneurship in different ways. Once they also join the field of entrepreneurs, then many of the social issues will also get addressed, because they can take it up and they can address those issues. So we need more and more female entrepreneurs also. And the fact number 12, that is the Mastercard Index for Women Entrepreneurship 2018 has ranked India 52nd out of 57 countries. So the female entrepreneurs are still low. They are still from well-off families, from middle class and lower middle class families. We still have very few female entrepreneurs. In fact, even male entrepreneurs are very few, but still, compared to male entrepreneurs, there are very few female entrepreneurs, and we want to give up. The government should be giving a big boost there also, to give a big year to the entrepreneurs. Empowering youth. Now, these 12 facts you should know before you take your idea forward, because you should know the journey is, you should know the path which you are traveling. You should know what are the challenges that you will be able to face, or else if you plan like the guy on a bicycle who is thinking of achieving the entire objective on that bicycle, will not be able to achieve that, because you saw a lot of ups and downs in that, in that slide, and that is how the entrepreneurship is all about. So now, any country cannot develop till it creates a conducive environment for its people to explore to their full potential. Yes, my dear friends, if the youth power is not used effectively, then probably the demographic dividend is going to convert into a demographic curse, and we will not be able to achieve a lot of goals, a lot of things. Entrepreneurs is one such opportunity for a country like India. Entrepreneurship is the way to go, because no government, no organizations can give employment to all the people, all the 130 crore strong people that we have. We need to create a lot of entrepreneurship at all levels, not only at the higher level, at the village level, at the taluk level, at the panchayat level, at every level we need a lot of entrepreneurs. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of scope. We just need to identify them and unlock that value. Unlocking value. Every individual, every village, every city is waiting for a lot of value to be unlocked. Yes, a lot of value. And if we are able to unlock this untapped value, there is no stopping for India. Because India is still, you're looking for a 5 trillion economy, and we will be able to achieve that in a meaningful manner only when the villages participate in it. And I want young entrepreneurs like you all to, identify, connect the villages, find out the value propositions there, and see to it that, you take along the youth along with yourself and generate values. This is what we are doing when we are talking of, creating smart farms for every smart city. This is what we are trying to do, because most of the youth are living in the villages, and this connect between the smart farms and the smart cities is going to unlock a lot of value. Now, demographic dividend through entrepreneurship. As we all know that we are a 130 crore country with a sizable young population. We were a consumption-led growth story. But now we must reposition India as a production-driven growth story. So we were consuming, the huge population was consuming, and therefore many of the multinationals, they wanted to be in India. Samsung came to India, they sold the phones. Nokia came to India, they sold the phones. All the foreign brands are coming. Skoda came to India, the Ford came to India, and they simply sold to India. Now we need to change this mindset. We need to become from the consumer, we need to become the production-driven growth story. So we will be able to take care of the population structure only when education, health, governance, and economics, they work together and they support that population, so that we get the demographic dividend. Demographic dividend is the benefits that we can derive from our huge population, right? And the young population, that is very important. Education must evolve. Now, any entrepreneurship is not in isolation. Our education is lagging far behind. We are talking of entrepreneurship 4.0, but our education is at education 2.0. So there's a huge skill gap between what is required by the industries, what is required by the market, and what the education and what the colleges are offering. So this huge market gap is, this huge skill gap, this huge competency gap is basically one of the reasons for huge unemployment. They are literate but not fit enough to be employable. So the employability quotient has to increase many folds. I'll talk of something very interesting: intrapreneurs. Entrepreneurs, as I told you, that only 5% of the entrepreneurs, are succeeding. Rest 95% are actually failing. But these entrepreneurs, field entrepreneurs, are looked down upon by the countrymen. I think it is a very, very sad moment. Even the existing organizations are not taking these entrepreneurs, they are not engaging these entrepreneurs because they can be a great asset. An entrepreneur mindset is always like, is always something who is always looking to add value. Now, what entrepreneur is that when an entrepreneur, when a person with entrepreneurial mindset is inside an organization focusing on innovation and creativity that transforms an idea into action. So, what these are, these entrepreneurs, when employees who are who are innovative, who are looking at adding value to the organization every time, is what entrepreneurs are. So there's a huge difference. Entrepreneurs are working within an organization. They are not having their own organization, but they are having the freedom. They are thinking innovatively. They are working innovatively, and they are trying to add value to the organization. So it is not just the entrepreneurship culture that is important, but even the intrapreneurship culture is very, very important, because everyone cannot be an entrepreneur, right? Everyone may not have the resource, everyone may not have the idea, everyone may not have. So it is very important that we probably at least start simultaneously encouraging the intrapreneurship culture, wherein the intrapreneurs working for some other from for some other shareholders are actually working like entrepreneurs, are actually thinking in different ways, are thinking freely to add value. So they are not having the employee mindset, they are still having the entrepreneurial mindset within an organization. Therefore, they are called as entrepreneurs. So we need that kind of a culture to evolve. And building the ecosystem, the entrepreneurial ecosystem, ESL and incubation centers in different engineering and management colleges are playing a big role in building the entrepreneurial ecosystem. But still, the hands-on experience needs to be there. But at least we have started. We started with the ESLs, and I'm sure the students in finance also needs to have a lot of e-cells in their organizer, in their educational platforms, because I've seen that in the engineering colleges, I've seen that in the management colleges, but I'm not seeing that in the in the commerce colleges or in the arts colleges. So we need that entrepreneurial e-cell incubation centers even working in these colleges. Government initiatives like Skill India, Make in India, Startup India has a long way to go to achieve its objectives, because there are a lot of things that we didn't do it right, we didn't do it correctly, but we are certainly having a learning curve, and that learning curve will help us to make a better India by making a lot of products in India and by initiating a lot of startups in India. The experience gain must be put to use to achieve the aspirations of the economy. So that takes us to the end of session number 2. And I'm sure that you've understood the entire ecosystem in which you will be operating as an entrepreneur. What are the challenges? And at the same time, I tell you, you should, if you're not an entrepreneur, you have to be an intrapreneur. Thank you.